Hi everyone, and welcome back to our garden. This time around we are going to plant as a family. So let me show you 3 seeds you can try out if you have really small children or toddlers. This is a fun family activity in my opinion. It's so wholesome and I think they'll enjoy it a lot. I prepared sweet peas which I pre-sprouted a while ago, and I'm ashamed to admit they stayed in this package for at least 1 week. But at least it's gonna be so fun for the kids to see how the root comes out of the seed and the actual plant stalk comes out. Then I prepared some peppers, just because the peppers have larger seeds and it's easier to plant with the kids. And I have one variety of cucumber. One of the gardeners that I follow in UK said that it's a good idea to start 2 or 3 cucumber plants to harvest at the end of March. Imagine that, growing them only in her conservatory. And I want to try this out because this little one enjoys cucumbers so much, and I think even if we try to plant and grow 2 or 3 plants is more than enough for us as a family, and I think she can actually enjoy to see how the leaf grows and the whole process of planting to actual fruit. Let me show you first how I pre-sprouted the sweet peas. They are so large already, unbelievable. I prepared 2 sushi trays that I saved when we had some takeaway, and kitchen towels, like regular kitchen towels. I folded them in a few folds just to have a little bit of extra cushioning and to hold water better. And then I'll pour a little bit of water, so I have my towels fully moist. And these are sweet pea seeds that I saved from my own yard last year. It's a variety of colors. They were not particularly fragrant. I put them in a paper envelope we made with my kids, and I just sprinkle them across my paper towel. And here I have the other variety that I bought a few days ago. This is supposed to be super fragrant, grows somewhat taller. Royal Family White is the variety. We'll see how this does for me. If it's working out okay, then for sure I will have some more. Apparently some of these that I harvested myself already sprouted, or they wanted to sprout. And these ones also look like they are almost there. What I'll do next is cover them with another paper towel just to keep everything as dampened as possible. I try to separate them so they don't get entangled when I want to repot them. And hopefully in 3 or 4 days we'll see some germination. Alright, let me bring some more paper. And I'll fold this one as well, because I want to keep things moist as evenly as possible. I'll add a little bit more water here. Okay. And just because I already have the lids of these trays, I'll also put the lid on top. My kitchen is quite dry, and from previous years experience, I saw that they get dry super fast. So just to prevent that from happening, I'll just add a bit more. And because I don't want to get mixed up on top of the lid, I'll tape down my envelope. So I know this is the variety that's supposed to be white and fragrant, and this is the variety that I harvested last year from my own garden. I'll store them here on my kitchen counter until I see germination. It should be a green tip when they are prepared to be potted. We'll start with watering down our soil. Mai jos tu puțin. Na, hai să punem aici apă. So, și pe tine te lasă mama la altceva, ok? Yeah. So, we'll put some water on the soil to moisten it. And we prepared some toilet paper rolls and a few dessert cups. These had some sort of pudding in them, and I kept them throughout the year. I don't have that many though, but I think they'll do nicely. And I also want to try to make a snail out of a poly bag, and we roll the snail for the second variety of sweet peas. Let's see. I'm going to move this here. So we have two varieties of sweet peas. The first one, pune acolo apă. Pune, nu pe masă, pune înăuntru, mai pune înăuntru. Mai poți să pui. The first variety of sweet peas, it's Royal Family white variety, which is a fragrant variety, and these other ones we just gathered from our own garden. Okay. So let me show you how long I kept these sweet peas. It's unbelievable how much they've grown. It's been a mess, but I was too busy last week and I could not get them around to planting. Mai întâi luăm tăvița. So we'll use the tray that we use for the sweet peas just to keep our paper towels in place. I'll fill the paper towels with soil, and then I'll let the ladies put the seeds in. Asha, these are actually kitchen paper towel cardboard, because the toilet paper I feel goes bad too easily when moistened, and I just cut in half the middle section of the kitchen paper towel. Okay, so we have so far 6 solid toilet paper trays. Wow. Let me wash my hands, and we drill some holes in these little plastic cups. So let's fill this as well. Stay. Stai că prea mult și după aceea ne vine. Da. I just realized when I picked up the seed that all my root goes sideways while the shoot with the leaf comes up. So what I'll do is just let a little bit less soil in the pot and then I'll backfill it because I don't want to ruin the seedling. And I think this way is the safest to do. It takes me a longer time, just because normally you should not allow your sweet peas to grow this tall until you plant them. And the pre-sprouting of the seedling is just to root out all the bad seeds. You're not supposed to wait so long as I did. So I'll do it like this. This is done. Right. I think the snail method is gonna work so much better. I'll let her choose whichever she likes. Ok. Ușurel, nu trage tare. Așa. So we managed to pot 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pots, and we still have a long way to go. So because they are so tall, I figured we have to try the snail method because it's going to be so much faster to place them all, and I don't think we'll break the roots. They are quite sturdy, even handled by toddlers, so you don't have to be afraid of this method. I'll put these aside, clear a little bit of space for us, and I'll bring some plastic sheet to prepare the snail method. I moved everything on the shelf under the grow lights. I'm not going to start the grow lights just yet. As you can see, some of the leafy part is already sticking out as I already planted it maybe 3 centimeters deep. There's still so many to plant. Let's bring the plastic and make a snail. So I got myself a plastic bag. We use these for various purposes in the garden. If you want to store leaves, if you want to store all sorts of stuff. And I'm just gonna cut it on the long part all the way to the end, and then I'll ask my daughter to hold one side for me. Let's see if we can make 2 snails at once. How long do we want this to be? Maybe something like this. Let's say 12-15 centimeters. So we made ourselves a long strip. We have actually 2 strips. Okay. Now I'll bring back the tray so we don't make a whole mess in the kitchen. And then we will arrange soil and then I'll roll it up. Hopefully that's gonna work. At the end, I'll tie it with this string to hold everything in place. Okay. I think for this method to work, you need the soil to be quite moist, which I don't know if you saw. My youngest poured all the water on the soil. All right, so we made ourselves a nice strip. Now let's place some of the seeds. I'll show my daughters how to do it, and then I allow them. 5 centimeters, and we are putting one of the seedlings down. Okay. So as you can see, we just arranged them 5 centimeters apart. Now I'm thinking it's a better idea to just fix them with a little bit of extra soil, just to hold them a little bit better while we roll the snail. Hopefully they are elastic enough to not break while we roll them. All right. And now we take it from one side and we start rolling. Like so. Nu le tordește mai mult, vezi? Facem un melcușor. And then I'll just pull on the foil a little bit more. We stop here. We add some more soil and some more seeds. And then roll it all the way to the back. Stand un pic. And at the end, just to make sure things are staying in their place, I'll tie them with a string. Said too much. Alright, now we put one seedling. The green part has to go up, and this is the rootstock that goes down. Even the root looks longer than the leafy part. a little bit of soil just to make sure. Okay, and then I'll roll some more. Okay, now we need a string to tie everything together. This is the part where my seedlings are, and this is the bottom part. I don't mind if the bottom part will lose some of the soil, if the top part stays nice and cozy. I will just fix it with my hands a little bit on the bottom, and I'll search for a tray to place it so I don't fuss with it. I found myself a tray. I kept this when we took like takeaway. It had the bottom tray and a top tray that I used for the pre-sprouting, and I have some more, and I'm thinking I can use them just to keep things well in order. Of course, when planting with kids, you have to be super patient and flexible because they get bored really easily after even a super interesting activity. Their attention span is so short that you just have to be flexible and enjoy the time they offer you, and then adapt so everyone keeps a good mood and it's actually a positive experience. And even though we planned to do seed sowing for the chilies and the cucumbers, of course we did not do that because they got hungry. I had to cook them some lunch, and even the second batch of sweet peas did not get planted. But you know, this is not a lost opportunity because we can actually compare and see how seedlings planted in the soil did compared to the second batch that was pre-sprouted at the same time as these sweet peas, but did not get planted in soil, and to see how they are still struggling in their trays 10 days after pre-sprouting them. I'm ashamed to admit it, but that's the truth. Now let me give you a 5-day update to the sweet pea seedlings. This is how they're looking at the moment. It's 5 days later and almost 10 centimeters tall. I definitely have to move them to a cooler place because I feel they're gonna stretch a lot in this heat that I have in the kitchen. But I want to show you a comparison between these sweet peas that I planted in the soil and another batch that we did not manage to plant the same day with these. So let's open together this tray to see how this second batch of sweet peas are doing. I'm scared. Oh, not so bad. You can definitely see they are struggling because the green part is curling back inwards, and this tray paper towel is already dried. Also, there's some mold over there, but I think we can save these because I still feel a lot of good texture. They are not yet dried. So today, 5 days later, I'll use the snail method to plant these as well, with the help of my little assistant because she wanted to help, so she's very welcome to help me out. We'll put this in the soil. Hopefully they'll catch up to the first batch that we did 5 days ago. So just to give you a few extra pointers, after doing 3 snails, you would like the soil to be on the wetter side, and even if at the top part you want it to be almost to the brim, here on the lower part it's nicer if you leave like 5 centimeters, even 4, to have the space to fold it underneath so you don't lose all your soil in the tray. Also, I don't feel like it's needed to be super thick, the layer of soil you're putting down. And the thickness of the soil is about 1 centimeter. Let's put them on the shelf. This is a gardening experiment that my son has in school. It's so fun to see that schools also embrace gardening in our area. I like to put them in a secondary tray, just move them easier around and water them separately from the rest of the tray. I was actually thinking I might wiggle these around, so I put the sweet peas to the back of my tray. Let's see if I can feed them better like this. So I save on some space and I give them extra stability so they don't fall on my window. I think that works. And also maybe I put one of these there just to extra make them stay in their place. I think that works perfectly. That's lovely. So my sweet little assistant announced me super loudly that she's no longer sowing seeds with me, and she proceeded to take a nap. And I'll take advantage of this quiet time to sow my chili peppers. If you think there are too many, let me tell you, I will gift a lot of these to my father-in-law. He has a passion for chili peppers, and to my mom. I'll be planting Aji lemon, sugar rush long peach, jalapeno Joe E. Parker, Bud Jolokia chocolate, the classic cayenne, and this one is called Padron. I'll put at least 5 seeds in one little seed cell, and then I'll repot them later. And hopefully, if I have enough space, I'd like to try 2 or 3 cucumber plants. I'm trying to do, as I told you before, this idea that another gardener in UK suggested, and I want to try it out. The cucumber variety is called Piccolino. It's supposed to be a very compact but high yield variety, which is what you will need for this type of experiment, growing cucumbers in your home. You don't want to try salad cucumbers or super vining ones. There are only 5 seeds in this pack, and they were quite expensive. So I'll put 2 seeds in each pot, just to make sure something is sprouting, and I'll keep the third for a later use or in case one of these does not germinate. I want to thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed a good time with us. I really hope you found this method inspiring, and you will join me in our next video. Until then, I wish you all a great week ahead. Bye bye.